Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have the singer Connor. Connor is from Leeds in the UK. So let's see what Connor has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So how are you doing today, Connor? How has your day been so far?
Yeah, it's been good, thank you. Yeah, not bad at all. Yourself?
It's been good, yeah. It's been quite warm in London right now, so it's great. There's a lot of great energy around, let's say.
Okay, good. It's summer here pretty much now, isn't it? I suppose.
So tell me, where you're from, Connor?
I'm from Leeds, so still the UK, just up north.
Right. What's the best part of living in Leeds, in your opinion?
I just like the whole vibe of the city. I think it's just a really cool place to live. There's lots of sort of new things happening all the time. Lots of new companies come in, new buildings, all sorts of things happening. It's got a nice little buzz to it, definitely.
It's the place where you were born and you grew up?
So strangely enough, my family are all from Leeds. I was born in London. And then I grew up in Wales, so I've moved around a bit, but I've ended up back in Leeds. I lived in Leeds as a kid as well for a bit, so yeah, between the three really.
I see. I've been in Leeds a few years ago, like more than 10 years ago, not for long. I don't know if you know a city called Scunthorpe. It's Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a friend who lives there. He was living there. So we spent the weekends, and also I went to Hull.
Yeah.
Home. So yeah, we went to Leeds as well. So yes, it was just like for a few hours, not long, but I could feel the vibe of the city for sure.
Yeah, it's probably changed quite a bit, sort of. Even in like the past 5 years, there's like so much change. It's crazy how fast it's grown as a city, really.
Connor, so I know you are a singer and a musician, yeah? So tell me a little bit about your career.
Yeah, so it sort of coincided with me moving back to Leeds, really. At 18, I came up here and went to drama school. Mm-hmm. So I trained in musical theatre for 4 years.
Wow.
I then went straight and worked on cruises for a year. So I was a singer on a cruise ship, travelling around for 12 months, which was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think I did 47 different countries in a year.
Oh my goodness.
It was a great way of traveling.
I was working as well. Yes, carry on.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I was just thinking out loud.
No, I was saying that I was working as well for Disney Cruise Line in Orlando for Disney Disney Dream, one of the cruise ship. So I did, but it was short contract. I just did for 3 months and a half. But I got the vibe, how it's working a cruise ship. As you know, you work every single day. It's just amazing. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole waking up somewhere different each day was a very crazy thing to do for a year. Every day was somewhere different, which was a really nice way to see a lot of places I probably wouldn't have been without that, I suppose. So after that, I then sort of moved back to land, I suppose, and then I didn't start writing my own music until the sort of lockdown periods. When I then wrote my first song that I released in 2021, and then since then I've just been sort of continuously writing and building that side of my music, really.
Amazing. Okay, so through the game, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your music and about your career as well, right?
Yep.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, right?
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay, Connor, so before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yep.
First question for you is, what makes you a unique person?
I think for me, it's kind of, as daft as it sounds, my personality. I'm quite a laid back person, but I think having done as much traveling as I have, I've sort of got a lot of different opinions and ideas and things that I try and sort of, I don't know, further and put out, especially via my music. It's always kind of sort of, it's always got an idea what I write about. It might not be something that's happened to me, but it comes from, just could be a random thing that pops into my head. Like, I'm kind of a bit crazy sometimes.
Saying that, do you think that your priorities has changed since you were younger?
Possibly so, yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a rugby player, so fairly different.
And yeah.
So yeah, it's quite a big change in career, I suppose, from what it was always the two, either sport or music. So I'm glad I went with one of them.
Very good. Next question, Connor, let's do it. Before the next question, I would like to tell me a little bit about your new single, Not Our Story. Tell me a little bit about it. What was the inspiration and how everything came along?
So again, it was one of my sort of weird ideas. So it's kind of, the only way I can describe it is, you know, in the newspapers where they have the pages where people write in if they've been on the train and they've seen somebody that they think is the love of their life and they never speak to them and that person gets off the train. That fascinates me. I think that's such a strong thing, that we can have these missed connections that we don't even realize about. It's not even something that's ever particularly happened to myself, but it was just the concept of it I was sort of drawn to. And I thought it'd be quite a cool idea to try and have a male and female perspective. And it was kind of a challenge in that aspect to write from both perspectives. So that was kind of the challenge, as in how to write it from the male perspective, which I found fairly straightforward, and then flip it completely and write, okay, if I was the female in the situation where actually they also felt the same, but they never had that connection.
I see.
Because it could happen millions of times a day. And it's a crazy, crazy idea.
And since when you start write the song, put the whole project together, how long did it take for you to get everything in the final cut?
I think it was probably around, I mean, I had the initial idea sort of a long time ago, but I'd sort of got stuck with just the first line of the chorus and sort of put it to the back of my head, carried on doing other things. And it was sort of, I sat down and I wrote it quite quickly. It sort of came in an afternoon. I got the guitar, got the rest of the lyrics. It happened very fast. And then it was kind of a 3-month process of getting it to a demo, then to Greg, who produced it, who I've done some things with before, because he sort of understood what was happening in my head, which I think it needed. And then we got Lisa on board, who I do quite a bit of work with anyway, so that was great because I knew that our voices would sort of complement each other. So yeah, I'd say it was about a 3-month process, give or take.
I see. All right. Next question for you is, who is your biggest hero?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I mean, probably, I don't know, there's different ones for different things, I suppose. I'd probably say Freddie Mercury, probably musically. I think that's kind of, as a child, the first sort of music I can remember listening to was Queen. And I've always loved listening to them and how he could just entertain and get an audience to just watch. I think that was a skill that not many people possess. I think he was definitely sort of a one-of-a-kind guy, really.
Well, not what's the top of three top your favorite songs of him, of the Queen?
So, I mean, I think number one's got to be Bohemian Rhapsody, really. I think that's probably most people's, but I was that kid doing Wayne's World in the car, but head banging. So definitely that. Another one would probably be Who Wants to Live Forever. I think that's sort of, again, the concept of that song, and I think it's sort of quite haunting with everything that happened in his life sort of towards the end. And then another one, I really like Bicycle Race. It's not one that people very often hear, but I think that that's such a out there catchy idea for a song.
Amazing. One of their songs I love their songs as well, but I like this Don't Stop Me Now. Oh my god, every time I listen to that song, it just bring me this good energy.
It's such a feel good tune, that one, definitely.
Absolutely. Next question, Connor, let's do it. Next question for you is, what does family mean to you?
It means a lot to me, I think. I've always sort of had a really nice family network that have supported me. I wouldn't be doing what I am doing without their support, really. When I sort of said at 18 I want to go to drama school and learn how to sing and dance, they could have been like, what are you talking about? But they didn't. And they sort of facilitated it and making it happen, and sort of just trusted that I knew what I was talking about, I think. So thankfully they had the trust in me, I suppose. Yeah, definitely.
And do you have siblings as well?
I do, yeah. I've got a younger sister. She is currently living in Korea, which is, yes, it's quite far. So I've not seen her in a while. She went there sort of August, the last August. So, yeah, she's teaching English out in Korea, which is pretty cool.
Amazing. And so through your career, your family, your parents, they were always by your side. They always were there to encourage you. Yeah,
definitely. They've always sort of, I think they probably knew that I would end up doing this before I did, because I've always sort of done bits of music and been sort of drama and things like that as a kid. So they probably knew before I did, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
As a kid, I wouldn't shut up. I always wanted to be center of attention. So it probably made sense to them before it did to me. So yeah, they've definitely just supported me all the way and got me to where I am now, definitely.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay, Connor from Leeds. Next question for you is, what made you laugh this week or this month?
I'm quite a sucker for terrible jokes. Like terrible, like dad jokes are my favourite. So like if I ever see any of them, and I was with a friend and we were just telling each other dad jokes, really, and that certainly makes me laugh. I love a terrible joke.
And who makes you laugh the most?
Good question. It could be anything. I'm quite easy to make laugh, really. It doesn't take a lot.
Good one.
Yeah, I can't think of any one person in particular, but yeah, it's literally, if you tell me a not joke will normally do the trick, really.
I think when you have this mindset of, take things in a positive way, in a funny way, I think life goes in a better direction, let's say.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are quite serious and sort of can get you down, but like if you have a fun time, I think it takes some of the edge off that, hopefully.
And also as well, I think ourselves, I like to make myself laugh sometimes on my own. Sometimes I find myself in a very tricky or weird situation. I start laughing about myself. I think that's a good exercise as well. Oh,
definitely. The more awkward I feel, the more I'm likely to laugh. If something's, it's when you shouldn't laugh. That's when you laugh the most, isn't it?
For sure. Next one, let's do it. Connor, before the next question, as I can see how much you enjoy and your passion is yourself about singing, about music. But of course, there's always a challenging part as well. What that would be, in your opinion?
I think it's just sort of getting to the point where you're happy doing. It's a balance, I suppose, sort of doing your own music and then doing music that's going to pay your bills. Really, like I do a lot of. Well, I did do a lot of singing, sort of late nights up and down the country, doing other people's songs, sort of different tribute things. And it's kind of what you want to be doing as opposed to what makes money. Because at the end of the day, singing is still, it's a job to me as well as something that I'm passionate about. So it's kind of weighing it up really and how you can get to that point where someone wants to pay you for doing your music. Amazing, but until then, you've got to hustle and you've got to graft, I suppose. And it's just that's the struggle of it. I think if you're not prepared to do the work and put the time in, then it can be very hard.
In your opinion, do you think nowadays with social media, with the those platforms like TikTok, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, do you think, because nowadays you can expose a lot your work over there, do you think, in your opinion, personally, it's a positive thing, or sometimes do you think it's too many people sharing the same content and it's get a bit difficult?
Yeah, I think it can be good and bad. I think it's like you say, it's great as a business tool. Like I generally don't tend to post many personal things on Instagram because I view it as a tool for work. So I use it as a promotional tool as opposed to this is me having lunch. But I mean, it's one of them where it can get you looking around and going, okay, well, why are they doing this? You're comparing, which is not always the way forward, I don't think, because it can seem like this person's got to here very quickly. I'm still here and it's taken me a long time. So I think it's good and bad. I think it is what you make of it, really, I suppose. I think always take it with a pinch of salt. Generally speaking, social media is my rule. If you see something, it might not always be the case. People don't post their bad days. They post their good days. We all have them days where you get an email saying, "Oh, we don't want that song. We don't want that song." Mm-hmm. But you're not going to tell anybody that, I think, which is the bit that you need to remember. Everybody's on a journey, and I think it's just remembering that. I would say.
And I strongly believe as well that, for example, if you compare yourself on social media with other, it doesn't matter each field, each area. If you lose your identity a little bit because you keep yourself comparing, you put yourself in a low mood because you see, as you said, someone maybe going too fast, or you are trying to read some, you know what I mean? And you lose a little bit of your identity because you keep thinking about that. You focus too much in that and you forgot about yourself. And I think we need to focus about, it's going to always have someone, I wouldn't say better, I would say different than ourselves. For one reason or another, maybe it's going faster, or, the world is always around. Sometimes can go very fast, sometimes can go down, and you can, you know what I mean? It's always like that. So I strongly believe as well, we shouldn't never be, comparing or focus too much over that. You just expose your job, that's it. Show what, never comparing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's it, because you never know, it might take 3 years, 5 years for the right person to see what you do, and then you could skyrocket, as opposed to very, very, very quick, very sudden, and then nothing could happen. It's all timing, really. I suppose it'll happen or it won't. It's one of them things.
And as I said, keep your identity always. Keep yourself. Show what you really are, because the right people is gonna see it. You know what I mean? And that's how things start. The magic starts happen.
Exactly that. Yeah, that's bang on.
Next question for you is: tell us about your earliest memory in life.
Earliest memory. Ooh, that's a good one. That's got me thinking. I mean, I've got a few probably fairly early ones. I wouldn't know which one was the earliest, really. I mean, again, it's kind of weirdly music related, which is kind of full circle. But I remember sort of songs that I knew as a kid, like very young. I think I can remember sort of them more than I can remember actual things happening, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like I say, like the Bohemian Rhapsody, when I was in the car as a kid, I can remember doing that. I remember that I knew the words to that, which is kind of mad. And also there was it's an Elvis song, Return to Sender. I was mad for that song as a kid, and I don't know why, but that one really, like, I used to love that song. And I know, like, I wasn't very old. Yeah, I think just always, my mum and dad both got pretty decent music taste. I think I was always growing up around music, so that's sort of what I remember, sort of the music they were playing and sort of dancing around as a kid, really. Yeah, definitely.
Saying that, as a child, did you have what was your big inspiration in the music field? There was like a superstar that you go like, okay, I'd like to be this person, or like this person when I grew up?
I think it'd probably be between those two again. I think sort of Freddie Mercury and Elvis were quite, they seem to have quite a lasting impression on me, where like it's 26 years on and I can still remember knowing those songs and thinking, oh my God, these are great. Which is, it's like, I very rarely listen to any Elvis now, but I still know Return to Sender, definitely.
And which moment of your life you think that if you remember, go like, okay, I was born to perform, to be a singer, to be on stage? There was a moment that you remember, or it kind of came gradually, like always genuinely?
I think it probably sort of came in drips, but I think sort of I did a few sort of amateur musicals when I was younger, and I think sort of at the end of them, obviously when people clap, I think that to me was when I was like, oh, this is nice.
Good.
Wouldn't it be good if you could do this as a job? And it's just kind of gone from that, I think, really, sort of as vain as that sounds. Sort of, I think we all like people applauding us and telling you how great you did. And there's not many jobs where every time you finish, people get up and clap, I don't think. So it's kind of, yeah, I've sort of ran with that, really, as crazy as that sounds.
And I believe as well the butterflies that give us like, wow, it's like, oh my goodness.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's the thing, you just don't get that in any other kind of work, really. Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Absolutely. Next question, Connor, let's do it. I'm going to share something with you. As a child, I remember, I think I was 6 or 7 years old. I remember my teacher, she gave for the whole class like a questionnaire with different random questions. And there was a question there. What would you like to be when you grow up? Guess what was my answer? I wrote Michael Jackson.
Love that.
Next day, she of course she collects all our answers. The next day she called me, said, William, come here. I was like, what? She said, do you understand this question? I was like, yeah. What? So read out to me. I said, what would you like to be when you grow up? And she said, do you understand? I said, yes, understood. But why did you put Michael Jackson? I said, because I want to be Michael Jackson when I grow up. And she was like, oh, but Michael Jackson is not a profession. She was explaining that he was a singer, performer, this and that. And I was like, no. I would like to be Michael Jackson when I grow up. And I remember, I have a vague memory, but I remember my mom at home talking to me. I think she contacted my mom to see if she could explain to me, because I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to, accept it, that I could be a singer or a performer, but I just wanted to be Michael Jackson. I remember I have a vague memory of my mom explaining to me at home.
I think that's it. It's them sort of, they're the people that are icons because they have that reach. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the people, like them people that are like, they're up here,
You're saying about Freddie Mercury and Elvis Presley. It came to my mind straight away about this situation with Michael.
Yeah, there's only sort of, I'd say, like a few, like you're looking at maybe 10, I think, over history where they have that kind of.
Yeah.
Wow. They won't happen again. It's just so visual to that person.
Yes,
that's it.
I remember, I think I was around the same time. I remember I think the first time when I realized, or when Michael Jackson came to my mind, when Black White came out, that music. I remember listening to the music like it was on a radio or something. I was like, oh my God, it sounds so catchy. And I was dancing. I didn't know who was singing. I didn't know anything about it. And I remember listening to the song. And I think they were playing all the time on, TV. That's when I realized who was Michael Jackson. I think that's what kept in my mind. And I was like, oh my God, Michael Jackson. That's what I'd like to be when I grow up.
I like it.
Next question for you is, Connor. What does love mean to you?
That's another good question, isn't it? You're getting me with these now. You're getting me thinking.
There we go.
The box, yeah, I know. It's getting me thinking. I would say it almost links back to the family one. I think it's sort of having sort of that connection with either one person or your family or whoever it is that you love, I suppose, where they support you, you support them, and you just want the best for that person, I think, really. Where if it's, say, your girlfriend, you just want to have the best life with that person and the best life for your family, and that's who you want to spend your time with. To me, I'd say that it boils down to that, really.
Do you believe that there are different kinds of love?
I would say so, yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, the one you sort of have with your family is entirely different to your partner, I suppose. But yeah, I think it's the sort of linked but different, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think all of them, I totally agree with you. I think you can love your pet, you can love your grandparents, you can love your lover, your partner. It's all different kind of love, but all of them, they come for this special place where you have this nice feeling when you feel in love, I believe.
Yeah.
It can be painful sometimes, but it's worth it. Take it. It can be really painful sometimes. Most of the time.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. But like, it's like with family, for example, you can fall out, you can argue, but at the end of the day, that you still always, you make up. I think you always sort of come back to, okay, this is your family. Like, and I think it's great. And even the family that you choose, it's kind of, because I think sort of, like you say, partners, friends, like they're family that you choose. And again, you can fall out, but if you genuinely do love that person, then you find a way to get over whatever it is, the obstacle, I suppose. Yeah.
Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Connor from England. Next question for you is, do you have any pet peeves?
Any pet peeves? Yes, so many. Slow walking. Oh.
Ooh.
Can't deal with it. So I'll paint the picture. You're out and about, you're at the shops, you need to get some shopping, and there's always one person in front of you walking dead slow, and you try and go past them, and they somehow know, and they move with you. Yeah. And then you do, I hate it. I can't. I'm a busy man. I've got places to be.
It happened to me today, actually. I was coming back home. I was like, oh my God, I was walking this lovely lady was literally going through the same side, and I was trying to kind of go through. Yeah. And the gentleman just came along as well. And I was like, okay, let me accept it. Let just calm down, because it's the universe testing me right now. I just had this
It does. You feel a stress, don't you? You kind of like, I need to go. I need to, oh no. Oh, it's the worst.
Very good. Next question. Before the next question, tell me, of course, you've been, performing, singing in different places, in different occasions as well. If you could pick one, just one that was special for some reason, something special happened, or something that's memorable happened at the time, what that would be and why?
Ooh, so many, because there was that many countries. I mean, the one that I would like to go back to the most was probably Lisbon. I loved it there. I think just as a city, it was very, I don't know, it just felt right. I kind of really felt the vibe of the city and really liked it. So that was one, that for a very different reason. But I would probably say sort of. So we did a cruise over in sort of Norway, Sweden area, and we had the midnight sun. So it was 12 o'clock and it was daylight, and we were outside singing, and it was just amazing. Like, I'd love to go back and do that again, because it was just such a surreal. Like, it's midnight, I'm outside, it's complete daylight, and I'm just singing away, and it's mad. Like, what a great job.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Next question for you is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
I've always said I would really like to live abroad somewhere. I call it Project Vineyard, because I'd really like to own a vineyard. So I can just get old and drink wine. I mean, say who's going to the shop. So anywhere where it's a vineyard, I can have I'll take it. I don't mind where. But I can see the vineyard. It's lovely. It's nice. Lots of trees. Can't wait.
Red or white wine?
Red, always.
Good one. Next question. Connor, tell me a little bit about your tattoo. I was check your profile a little bit earlier on, and I could see you have a tattoo around your hand. Tell me a little bit about the meaning or what.
So I've got a couple. I've got this one here.
Right.
That's my star sign, actually. So it's a sign for Libra inside. It's like the earth symbols, but that one I think is air.
Right.
The main one I've got is all the way up here.
Oh, I see.
There's quite a lot going on with it. I don't know if you can see. But,
yeah, I can. Yeah.
The house is actually my grandparents' house that they lived in through my entire childhood before they both passed away. So that in my head was a house that I can remember going for as long as I've lived. So it was just a way for me to have that as a memory, really. And the flowers on there are flowers from the garden in that house, which I thought was a nice little way just to incorporate little bits of that house. Yeah, just like as a memory, really.
I see. All right. Next question is, if you could have a superpower, what that would be and why?
Super speed. Don't even need to think about it. So I could zip past them slow walkers and get to where I need. Like, I could boom, 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 boom. And I've done all my jobs.
Let's say you could have the superpower to go very fast, wherever you could go. Where would you go right now? Like right now, where would you go very fast?
Ooh. That's a hard one, because it's quite sunny in Leeds today, so it's like, I don't know. I would say, right now, where would I go?
Anywhere in the world, anywhere, like the superpower to go very fast for a few hours and come back.
Okay, I know where I'd go, 100%. My favorite place I've ever been. I'd go to the Taj Mahal.
Good one. Actually, one of my bucket list to go is visit as well. I've never been. I'd love to.
Best place I've ever been in my life. Best place.
Wow.
Couldn't recommend it enough.
The story behind as well is just amazing. The story behind that,
it's everything about it. It just has an aura, which was really surreal at the time, because there's people everywhere. Yeah. But it makes you feel very calm as a place, which was kind of strange. You're like,
amazing.
Yeah, it's got a powerful feeling, that place, for sure.
Very good.
So I'd definitely go there.
3 questions left for you, Connor. Let's do it. Next question is, tough question now. If your plane was going down, and if you could call just one person to say goodbye over the phone, who that would be and why?
Okay, so a slight side note, this will surprise you. I was in a plane crash as a child.
Oh, tell me.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything at all, but we were flying back, me, my mum and my dad, from Spain, I believe it was. And before landing, the wheels wouldn't come out, so it couldn't land. So we had to go down the emergency chute, like the slide, and then the plane obviously crashed once it it hit the floor, but we were all off. But I don't remember it, but it's quite a nice little bit of trivia that people go, ah. I'm like, I'm not scared of flying. It doesn't, but I don't know. But it's a crazy little, yeah.
I'm sure
Didn't
your
expect me to say
parents.
that, did you?
I'm sure your parents. No, I was expecting that. My goodness. I'm sure your parents. They've got a memory that's, you know, for them it's a totally different approach.
Yeah. Because I was only, I think, maybe 3-ish, so I don't remember any of it.
You know what? I had a guest on the show from Kentucky in the US, and he had a situation as well that he shared with me not long ago, actually. I think it was during COVID. And he was on a plane, and literally the plane, it was about to crash, but not like badly. I think it was an emergency, and everything was going, everyone was crazy in the plane. The pilot wasn't sure what was happening, but you know, the plane literally was going down. And he managed to call his mom, and he was over the phone with his mom, like very quick, like talking to her over through what was happening. And suddenly the plane crashed and he lost connection with her. Imagine his mom situation, like imagine, and he couldn't, everything went in the hands of people, they were hurt, but no one passed away, thankfully. And so he couldn't contact his mom back to, you know what I mean, to tell her that he was alive for 2 hours and a half. So imagine his mom for 2 hours and a half thinking that he was gone, and she was on the floor like crying. He told me like she was on the floor crying because, you know, she thought that he was gone. Suddenly the phone just. Imagine the relief afterwards when she realized that he got to call her, like she was in the hotel. He could call her. So, oh my God, poor mom. Imagine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2 questions left, Connor. Let's do it. Right, before the next question, through those 2 years there, you know, the world went upside down regarding the COVID crisis. Yeah, for you in your career, what was the most challenging part that you need to go through? And also, I'm sure there was something positive as well about it.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, it was kind of the main sort of hurdle was just that everything stopped. Like I had 12 months worth of gigs gone overnight, I suppose. So that was very hard. Like I felt like I'd just got myself, my career to a good point, and then it just disappeared, and there was nothing to help, nothing. So I ended up doing random jobs because I had to. So I did delivery driving, working in a supermarket, in an office, whatever I could to pay the bills, I did. I'd say positive was writing songs because I'd never done it. And I think it put me in a place where I was that down and in my head, and it was a good way for me to get it out, I suppose. So I think the positive for me was being able to channel it into music. The negative was not having music, I suppose. So it was like a yin and yang kind of situation, really. Because without the lockdown, I don't think I'd have written my own song. I don't think I would have done it. So it's made that side what it is, I suppose.
I see. All right. Next question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I would love to be doing my own music full time, I think. I would love to be doing gigs, whether it be supporting bigger acts, doing shows as myself, festivals, all the sort of good stuff that I think I've been building towards, and I've been on that journey. And yeah, I think that's where I want it to be. So I want to keep releasing more music. I've already got sort of 2 more songs just getting finished at the minute, and they've recorded, they're done. It's just production happening. So there'll be another 2, maybe 3 this year. So that'll be a big increase. Like last year there was 1. This year there's already been 1. So we're building. So yeah, I think it's just to continue building, really. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. Ready for the last one?
Yes.
Last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, people watch the interview. Would you like to start a career as a singer or follow their passion in music? What would be your best piece of advice?
I would say to just sort of trust yourself and just keep doing it. There'll be lots of times where you'll get told no, you won't sound right for that, whatever it is. Your face might not look right, but there will be a point where it works and it fits and it clicks. I think if you can, like we said earlier, stick to who you are and keep consistent and keep doing what it is to a good level, then something will happen eventually. I think I'm a big believer in, like I said, the grind, and just keep working on your craft, and trust the process, really, I suppose, would be what I would go with. Yeah.
I had an interview with a TV producer from New York City, and he said something very interesting that kept to my mind. He said, William, you're going to receive a lot of no's. Believe me, a lot of no's going to come along, but the yes is still to come and will come if you pursue, if you're persistent, if you try, keep trying. You're going to be a lot of no's, a lot of doors going to close, but there's always one that's going to say yes. That's when you need to reach it. You need to go for it. And those no's, to get there, you need to go through.
Yeah, and think like how much better that'll taste after the 50 no's. That one yes will feel like, oh, I've done it. You've worked for it. Like, I think it's almost better to get it later than sooner, just so you know it is what you want. I think if it happens very quick, you might not actually in your mind know that this is what I want to do. I think after the no's, you kind of have that, okay, do I really want to do this? Do I want to put myself through it again? And if you carry on knocking, then you must really want to do it, or you'd find something else.
Absolutely. Last question for you is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever said to you?
I think it's like people that have an emotional attachment to music that I've wrote, where they either have messaged and said it made them feel a certain way, or it made them emotional, or because that means that what I was imagining when I've wrote it has been, they've understood that, and they've, even if it's in their own context and it's completely different to how it was meant, it's still got through, and it's achieved what it was meant to do. Like, music's meant to make you feel something, I feel, or I believe, sorry. So yeah, I think anything to do with like that, where people have gone, oh, this song, it could be made me cry, made me happy, regardless of what that emotion is. I think if they can form an emotional attachment to what I've created in a spare bedroom in my house, then we're on the right path.
Amazing, very good. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Mm-hmm.
Money.
Music.
Family.
Leeds.
One word for love.
What, sorry?
Love.
Love. I would say safety.
Okay. Life.
Fun.
Sex.
Fun.
For some reason, you would say that. For me.
I put it in my own head, didn't I?
One word for politics.
At the minute, I'd go with evil, probably.
Okay. Religion.
Tricky.
Fear.
Failure.
Friendship.
Important.
Desire.
Success.
Regret.
I don't know for that one. Oh, you've got me. Nothing came to my head then. Yeah, I'm gonna go with don't have them.
Good. Success.
The vineyard.
One word for wish.
Success.
Happiness.
Girlfriend.
Okay. One word for Leeds.
Home.
One word for England.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. You've got me again. This is harder than I thought it would be. I suppose birth. Okay, with birth.
Amazing. All your experience that you had working a cruise ship, if you could put all that experience in one word, what that would be?
I would say it was building, really, as in like it's built me to the performer I am now. It's built me in confidence.
Okay, perfect. Let's say now one word for music.
Subjective.
One word for singer.
Skill, I'm going to go with.
Okay. As last weekend, I just realized last weekend we celebrated, the whole country celebrates the Platinum Jubilee, the Queen making history. One word for the Queen of England.
I'm going to go with royal.
Right. And the last one now, not our story, your single. If you can define in one word, what that would be?
One word. I would say like yearning. It's kind of like, yeah, I'll go with that. I think that makes sense in my head.
All right. Let's play now Connor and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me a question, if I would have a cup of tea with your best friends right now, and I would ask your best friends, what is the most beautiful thing about Connor, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What your best friend would say?
I'd like them to say, hopefully, that like I'm kind of, I'm sort of fun, energetic, but like I think probably bad side. Sometimes probably don't think I listen too well. I think possibly I'm quite headstrong, so if I don't necessarily not listen to myself, I think, if that makes sense.
Do you see some work in progress?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Okay, so let's play now Connor in the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Connor.
Yes. So it's going to be music based. So there you go. So if you could have written any song ever in the world, and you could have wrote it, what would it be? Like, what song do you listen to and you think, oh, I wish I'd have wrote that? What would it be for you?
Oh my God, good question. Oh wow, you put me in the spot now. I love the question, Connor. Oh my God, I love music. I listen to music like every single day. Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind now, it was, ABBA. Yeah, they come back now with their,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, after 40 years, and there is a song. I love a lot of songs, but there's a song that's always when I listen to it, I just stop for a minute and I connect with the song. It's The Winner Takes It All.
Yeah, great song.
I just love this song. There's something about the song that is quite sad at the same time as well. It's very uplifting. There's a message there that sometimes I listen in a certain period of my life, I see a different message. Sometimes I listen to another point of my life and I see a different message. And I love it. That's what music is about. Magic is about creating different memories in a different part of your life. That's what's, for me, is the magic of create music and listen to music, that's always going to leave an impact in your life. So yeah, The Winner Takes It Off by ABBA, I think that song, but I could tell a lot. I could tell you, like, I'm sure after the interview, I'm going to go like, oh my God, I should have said that. Oh my God, I should have said this one. But the first one that came to my mind is this one, The Winner Takes It All, because it says a lot. Different, it is different a lot. I think it's very personal because it can say a lot for different people, different occasions, different situations as well. And for me, it's a song that always gets my attention when I stop listening to it. So yeah, that's my answer to you.
I like it. It's definitely. I think that's the thing with their songs. They've lasted as long as they have because people do have that, like we were saying, that their own connection, and I think that's why them songs are sort of timeless, aren't they? Really.
Connor, before, by the way, thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks so much for being kind and sweet. I know you are very busy and you took the time for the interview. I really appreciate that. And before I ask you to leave a positive message, if right now, if you had the opportunity to open a concert to one of the stars around the world or do a duet, who that would be right now in your present moment of your life?
I mean, at the minute, it's he's pretty big, isn't he? Really, Harry Styles. That new album's like I've got that on repeat. It's stuck in my head. It's so cleverly written. I think it's kind of like when you listen to it, you go, "Oh, that's such a good idea." Like, oh, it's happened. He's done it. But yeah, I think I'd go with that.
Amazing. Would you like to share a message, please, before you go?
I think it just sort of like I was saying, I think really just trust everybody's individual process. Trust that what you believe and what you think for yourself is achievable. I think if you think that you can do something, do it, like go for it, like go full in on what it is. And I think eventually you'll get there if you just persist. It could take, like we said, 10 years, 5 years, 3 days. Nobody knows. That's sort of the fun in it all, really, I suppose, isn't it?
Amazing. Thanks so much for the interview, and I can't wait in the future to be there clapping to you, to go on your concert, to be clapping there, say, my God, he's the one who participated in the Magic Box, and here it is now. Like you're already living your dream anyway, but I got goosebumps now saying that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Take care, okay? Have a nice day, a nice evening, and keep in touch. Take care.
And you, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.